Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I will be working on famous top of the line, best of the best of Aiwa model XK-S9000. This is super nice deck in a golden color with good visual shape and fried belts. It tries, but it cannot open the door. Okay, let's see if any other modes work. No, not a single mode works. So what I will do, I will remove side checks, top panel, front panel, and then we'll pull out the transport and we'll work on it. So stay tuned. See you in a moment. All right. So inside this deck looks super similar to the S9000 I've been working on. So that's mechanics, it's undercover. So what I will do, I need to open this cover. I will remove this metal part. I will try to open the door to remove the door cover, and then we will remove the front panel. So stay tuned, see you in a moment. All right. I removed this top panel, and now rotating the large gear, I would be able to open the door and remove the top cover to get access to the removing of the front panel. All right. So it's not complex, as you see. Okay, so continue working, and like as you remember, to remove front panel, we would need to disconnect a large flat cable which sits under the dock. So I disconnected dock. It should be, it should be free now. I'm not sure what's still holding it, but here is the difference. When we had just single sound cable coming like to audio board on S9000, and here we have additional black cable with the ground wire which connects ground from the dock to the ground of the audio board. So that's the difference. And no, this ground wire remains even if dock is pulled out, so dock is exactly the same as in the model S9000. All right, the only difference I found, like, remember the deck I was working on had all screws messed up. This one also has screw here which connected the dock module, this black one. All right, that's all the differences so far. I know exactly that there is more differences. I see, I believe, more relays here. And playback amp, which is, I remember, sits here, has a different capacitor set according to schematic, but looking here I cannot confirm it. I see large like film capacitors installed. On the schematic they show two polar caps, 22 microfarad connected in series like Sony did, but here you may see large film capacitors. Interesting. All right. Let's see what else this deck will surprise us with. Okay, front panel has been removed. So it has the flat cable goes here, and two connectors goes from the remote sensor and switch which goes to the lower board. Now I have to remove bottom panel because, as you remember, playback heads were soldered on S9000. I need to make sure to be able to disconnect them here. So stay tuned, see you in the moment. All right, I removed bottom cover, and as you may see, the situation is the same. Playback head wires are connected with the soldering. There is no separate connector, so I have to desolder them. Stay tuned. It's a little bit left, I believe. One screw here and one on top, and we can remove the tape transport. All right. Finally, tape transport removed, and you may see condition of the belts. This one is a little bit better. Still one piece, almost. This one is stretched poorly, you may see. That's why it didn't work. This remains of the other one. Come on. I still believe you can come out clean without making lots of mess. All right. It's a little bit sticky, but almost. Okay, I will have to clean this one. I see it was trying to pull heads up, that's why. Now it's sits in position with heads raised, okay. So technically, the very same tape transport. The differences: additional motor here with additional idler and additional belt here, which right as well, as you may see. So that's for supply, not supply, for take up reel for the playback mode. So they decided the separate motor would be better than the reduced power on the reel motor. So that's the difference. All right, the procedure now is more or less clear for me. Remove these two screws here and remove this panel, remove the cassette door, remove the left side and bottom side all together. Then after, with mechanics for tape stabilizer, pushing like the pressure. And then we have tape transfer we can work on and assemble in the reverse order, all right? I will show you the most interesting parts, but after I did it twice with S9000, it will not be a big problem now for me, because I know how they designed. At least this one has proper parts in place, and I would not be struggling with unpredictable behavior. I will replace these two switches with the new one because I'm already have them. And as you know, the switches are point of failure. I already was chatting with other guys who tell that the deck didn't work. Don't open it and close the door. So that's the culprit. So this needs to be removed and replaced. This switch is available on the DGK. If you will be struggling to find them, I will show you the numbers later when I will be replacing them. So you would be able to use these numbers to find them on DGK. All right. We also need to desolder these 4 wires because they will go together with the front door. All right. See you in a moment. Okay, I decided to film step by step. So 2 screws, I remove it from here and here. Now we can remove this part. There is one more screw on the back right here. So I need extender to get there. But this will allow us to release the door. So, you know, like S9000 I get in pieces and not whole screws were in place, and I was like, they've been too different. All right, removed this part. Step number 1. Step number 2, carefully pull. We need to remove this E-ring here, and then we can pull the door to the right and remove it. Give me a second. All right, and here is step number 2, the door, and this like top metal shaped part is removed as well. So this holds the door in place. It's not complex, so you see wires are disconnected, so now it would not hold us, and we get into the tape transport. Now we need to remove this switches board and then remove the mechanics for the door opening. It has separate motor, so remember there are a few screws like to separate this. Let me do it and I will show you. Okay, a couple more details. So like I had to desolder the switchboard because it was going through this small hole. The cable was going, and in the 7000 I put it here so the board was able to go through. What else? I had to disconnect this motor, and I had to remove the zip tie which holds these wires together. So you see, design is a little bit different from what I've seen in the 7000, but not too much. And let's see, that's how wires goes here. They go below this and tie it here, right? Zip tie it like that. I believe I put it through this hole and get them out here, but I believe we had more wires. Record wires will go in here as well. Right, small differences, but they matter for me, matter for proper assembly. All right, so stay tuned. I continue disassembling. So, and these last 2 screws I remove it from here. I was able to fully remove and disconnect this tape ejection mechanism, and now I can work separately on mechanism and separately on the tape transport, and that's the proper way how to work on them. So you may disregard my previous video because I was learning, and here I better understand how everything is set up together. So here is the head. Let me do macro mode. It still looks like in a good shape. Some bare, but not that bad. Like no grooves. And head looks pretty similar to Sony laser amorphous. All right. Good. I would be able to work with that. Everything else is simple. Replace pinch rollers on the front, replace belt here, replace idler here. All right. So again, like left, right pinch rollers. I would need to remove arms and then adjust the height for this arm because it has guide right here. Replace this roller, this belt here, this idler. And on the back we have 2 belts. All right, and we have another idler right here, which was not very simple to get access in 7000 series. All right, so see you soon. All right, and here I found the second belt. It just rolled it on the pulley, so I would need to carefully roll it out. Interesting design you see here is a plastic cover. Never seen that, and that's the old lubricant we will be replacing. Okay, moving on. Well, disassembly is not simple. To get to the others, we need to remove motors, and to remove motors, we need to desolder board. So 2 wires here from these 2 points, these purple wires. I'm sorry everyone, my phone battery just dead. So let's try again. So 2 purple wires from here, 2 gray wires from these 2 points. Okay, now I will desolder motor 1, motor 2. I will desolder 1 and 2 relays, and then we should be able to remove board with all the sensors. Okay, and then I would be able to remove each motor and replace idler tire. So they didn't think well about repairs with this deck, I believe. See. Alright, I removed the board. Here is the points soldering 2 motors, 2 relays, 5 switches, and that's the long tubes for optical sensors. So why not install optical sensors differently? Alright. Again, like sometimes I disassemble deck and I'm in love with design, how they did it. That one is like a slow progression of the original Akai tape transports from 1970s with a little bit of improvements. Here you see lubricant. So I'm not sure who put it here. Maybe it's original still here. I'm not sure. Why? That's how much I disassembled to get to the motors, and now, only now, I would be able to remove screws, remove motors, and replace idlers one by one. That's not service-friendly design, to say the least. Okay? See you. They probably kidding. I removed the motor, as you may see, and it disconnected. So there is a separate arm which holds the idler. Does it mean I would need to remove the front side to get to idler? I'm not sure yet, but this is getting more and more interesting. Alright, see you. Hey guys, finally, removing this cover, removing both pinch rollers, removing this back panel with 2 screws here, and removing the spring right here, okay, this small one. I finally able to remove head carriage. Or not yet. Something else is not giving me, but I'm close to get to the idler tire. Oh my, probably one of the most complex decks in the service. See, finally, removed the carriage, removed the brakes. I get to the point when I extremely dislike this super teeny spring which holds this roller in up position. That's way too small, I believe. Really, never seen that small for this purpose. Alright, don't like it, don't like the design. And after all, when I removed the spring and put it aside here, this lever cannot be removed unless I remove the motor. That's ridiculous. I have never seen such not well sold designs, really, guys. I have seen many decks, you know, many of them I like. This one is overcomplicated. I'm sure some guys went through these repairs. I haven't seen many videos. To tell the truth, I can try to get to everything myself, but sometimes this deck just make me stuck with all its designs. And guys, today I will be working with this set from eBay. So that's a set of 3 belts and 2 idlers, and I'm not sure what this the small one is. It's not looks like pinch roller. It's maybe just to keep belts not jammed during shipping. So that's the color of the idlers. All right, so I pulled it out. Now I would be able to work on it. Interesting that the idlers are not hardened yet. They still like, you see, I can make a bump in it. Let me zoom in. Like with my finger, and it will remain there for about 1.5 seconds. Anyway, time's come to replace. Continue work. Okay, I have opened the bells. I will measure this one. One is shorter, one is longer. It's maybe all right, but this belt, one is small one. I believe is here. Right, looks a little bit too small, but it's stretchy. Probably it's fine. But this one, it's too small. It will give too much pressure. So Mr. Van Hurban, I don't like that there is no proper belt for tension. Like it, I have sets of myself. I will find an appropriate one which will rotate but will not do any additional tension, just as much as needed. All right, see you. All right, I installed new idler, carefully assembled. So spring is there. Now you see when I rotate motor, idler changes position and rotates the reel. So that's how it should work. Take a look. So there is like you've seen on the motor the white part with round shaped piece in it, and it should go exactly above. So there is in this black shaped part, so there is a pin which should go inside. Then it will be rotating the gear, not rotating idler and all assembly. So you see, that's how it should work. If you didn't get inside, it would not rotate. Please make sure that when you assemble, you do it properly. All right, done with this part. Now we can assemble. Like it's way too many to assemble, disassemble, because that's simple things, really. All right, moving on. All right. I assembled and make everything work. So here is the lever which push the brakes for fast forward and rewind. That should work like that. Okay, and it moves both brakes up and down, and spring install it on this axle. Okay, now with playback we pull everything up, and this lever should let this idler get in contact with bigger wheel. So as complicated as that. And that's the brake which should get in touch. It's supply side 6-8 gram torque. That works like that. Alright. Moving on. Way too many assembly, disassembly. Take a look how many screws. Mamma mia. And I need to remember all of them. And here, guys, to replace right wheel, I had to remove motor, remove the spring, remove the holder, and then I was able to pull this mechanism out, and it's exactly the same. And you see this black pin here, it should go exactly in between those cheeks, so it would be able to rotate together with the motor. and move it up or down. All right. Let's see how it will perform afterwards. Like, so many parts to go through, so much work. I hope it will be enjoyable. See you soon. And guys, here reverse assembly. So it should work like that. So moving on the spring. Okay, now I will install the motor. Okay, I assembled this motor. Now you see it operates with the idler, and we installed belt, which not relax it much, but not the tight. So still, like, if I stop, I cannot pull, right? But when I rotate, it should be free enough to rotate without significant torque. Okay? Good. Done with this side. Now I can assemble the reverse side, and then let's go from there. While I'm preparing the tools, I figure out that there is one more switch. Let me try and marker. You see right there, and that's the wire which goes around, and that's which we get soldered on the board. Oh my. I believe they could do better. Okay, everyone, board has been soldered and assembled back. Way too many points to remember and work on. What else I mentioned? You know, like with all those parts, all those details, like they still have those separate wires connected. And like I remember in S9000, this was a cut sensor, right? And here is cut as well. So I'm not quite sure how it operates. I believe it's the only thing. It operates with this lever. So when it pushes down, like when the door is open, that's the only I can imagine. All right, I will show you when I will be assembling. Now we're done with this part. I'm ready to lubricate capstan bearings and assemble capstans, pinch rollers back. All right, see you in the moment. Hey guys, and when I tune in the height of the left guide, I mentioned that if I tune it correctly, then like tape will go not in the middle of the right step. And here as well, like when heads are engaged, my styler touches the lower guide on the head, and like I see that it sits a little bit higher, and this head sits a little bit higher. So I will set this one a little bit higher as well, like to make sure that tape pass will be straight. But that's how they set it up. I'm not in the mood like to align all heads and like all together. It's much easier now to work with this guide to set it up and then seal it. All right. I hope I will have access to it when I will close the door mechanism. We'll see. But that's not very well. See. Okay, everyone. I assembled the tape transport. We have belts, idlers replaced. Between capstans there is a belt 105mm half longs, and from motor to the large capstan it's 116mm belt. And these like 5mm belts, they remind me by the quality the belts I was receiving from China, but I'm not sure. As you've seen, those are from Europe. Okay, that's how everything is assembled and rotates now. Aiwa has this large capstans, but they are thin, and it's just like I believe brass material or some alloy. They're not heavy. That's why like, wow and flutter is still worse than like the Pioneer or Sony decks, which have smaller size capstans, but those are like at least twice heavier than this. All right, see. So it would be it for tonight. I will continue reassembling this mechanism tomorrow because it's getting late. So stay tuned and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.